Master Tainari! What is that?
Is this Irminsul?
How did this happen? What's going on inside?
Luckily, we managed to evacuate everyone.
What in the world was that? That was terrifying!
Oh my. I understand now, Dendroarchon. You make yourself quite clear indeed.
Not once over the millennia has Irminsul been so terribly afflicted as this.
Please continue, Dendroarchon.
Irminsul's root system is what comprises the ley lines. In the past, it has always been hidden away, going unseen by the general populace. But now, an evil intruder is making it reveal itself. It has become a tree of unbridled greed. A clear sign that a deranged experiment has advanced to a new stage.
Blasphemy. From where I stand, an experiment in the name of blasphemy sounds rather improper. But if we are to honor Dottore's will, this is what we must do.
The birth of this tree proves to me beyond doubt that this incident is connected to him. But to explain the situation in full, there is someone I need to tell you about.
Zandik. So it was him. I saw him in the desert once. A man of supreme arrogance. So this is where it has taken him.
But didn't Dottore die and not cry? How is he still able to do all this?
He must still have loyal followers amongst the Fatui. Even so, I'm still unclear as to how he has been able to wield such a profound influence over Irminsul.
I can confirm that Fatui forces have arrived in Sumeru City. Furthermore, Irminsul seems to be undergoing some kind of mutation. Evil branches are beginning to grow. Things that do not belong to this world are slowly but surely materializing. Sorry, I couldn't think of any other word to describe it. They don't seem to be fully formed physical entities yet, after all, but they are gradually becoming real.
A baleful tree climbing up into the heavens.
Speaking of Dottore, I have some information on that front as well. I didn't think it was wise to state this out in the open. But my theory is, the mole wasn't cut off after he was caught. They wrote him off from the beginning.
You mean, the Fatui never intended to follow through with him? Then why plant a mole at all?
It's hardly a conventional strategy, and the rationale behind it is pretty twisted. But as it happens, I know someone who works exactly this way. And when it comes down to it, his goals are very simple. He just wants to confuse people, so they can't figure out what he's up to. He's been a collaborator of Dottore's from the outset. That fact alone confirms that Dottore is involved with this somehow.
This should be one of the closest places to Natlan in all of Sumeru. There's the barrier Nicole and Nefer mentioned. It completely cuts this nation off from the others. But why? Why separate you from the rest of the world now, specifically? And if I'm not mistaken, Irminsul was polluted once before, wasn't it?
Good question. I'm wondering the same thing myself.
That voice. Mawika! You got here pretty quickly.
Hello, traveler. It's been a while.
Hello there.
Hello, Dendro Archon.
Malika, I apologize for asking you to meet at the border on such short notice. I also apologize for not being able to greet you in person. The form in which you see me now is one carried by the traveler. The real me is inside the mausoleum of King Deshret, and I am reaching out to you with my mind from here. Irminsul has been infiltrated by the Doctor. We must be on our guard, as he can spy on information in the world from within the tree. Fortunately, there is no record of the traveler in Irminsul, and you are still within Natlan's borders.
My records will be preserved in the Night Kingdom, rather than the ley lines. As long as the Night Kingdom remains disconnected from the ley line cycle, the Doctor has no way of knowing my movements.
Exactly.
So by meeting each other in this way, the meeting essentially never happened. No wonder Paimon didn't come. You were concerned that her activity would be recorded by Irminsul. The Natlanese have heard about the situation in Sumeru. With the borders sealed off, merchants have been forced to stop their shipments. It's pretty serious, and you're the ones bearing the brunt of it.
I'd like to address the question you raised at the beginning. I can offer a brief explanation, although it will sound rather cruel. I don't reach this conclusion gladly, but Irminsul predates the heavenly principles. It existed long ago, when the dragons of Natlan were at the height of their power. So even when the people of Sumeru became ill because of pollution, it was not a critical issue from the perspective of Irminsul itself. As long as it continues to function normally, the barrier will not be activated. But this time, the Doctor's invasion has directly affected the tree. That is what caused the barrier to deploy. The heavenly principles established a rule that when Irminsul is plunged into grave danger, a portion of power will be reserved to isolate Sumeru. That way, even if Sumeru is destroyed, the outside world at least has some time to catch its breath.
We'd certainly need it.
The heavenly principles created almost everything that exists in Teyvat today. To them, preserving the existence of the world and its inhabitants takes priority over protecting Sumeru.
Meaning, protecting Sumeru now falls to you.
Yes. My own power may be limited, especially compared to yours. But that doesn't mean that we're just gonna sit around and wait for the end. If necessary, I will utilize any and every means at my disposal.
Nicole of the Hexen Circle didn't say exactly what this meeting was about. But after hearing everything you've said so far, I think I can guess where this is going.
That's right. Nahida and I discussed it at length. We both know how presumptuous this is, but...
You need the pyronosis, don't you?
Yes, you guessed correctly. Originally, I only intended to borrow it, but the situation is far graver than I foresaw. So instead, what I ask of you is to please give the pyronosis to Sumeru.
Why do you sound so nervous? There's no need to be shy.
Surely a gnosis is pretty important to a god.
I guess, but it's not as if losing it would suddenly render us powerless. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. With all the nations you've traveled to, and all the gods you've met, you must have realized that by now. As far as I'm concerned, a gnosis is basically an elemental energy enhancer. But I don't usually use it. You know me. I like to think I'm pretty strong without it.
Yeah, not about to dispute that.
So you see, you don't need to sweat it. Here, take the pyronosis.
Huh? Just like that?
Uh-huh, just like that. To tell the truth, I've always toyed with the idea of giving it to someone who needs it more than I do. I know you accompanied Nahida here to try and increase the chance of success. It's a good thing you did, because your involvement is one of the main reasons you've managed to persuade me.
Are you sure about this? Handing over your gnosis just because of me?
I won't try to quantify it, but trust me, handing over the gnosis to Tumaini is far from the craziest idea I could think of. Besides, even if you hadn't come here personally, I think I still would have agreed to Nahida's request. Irminsul doesn't just affect Sumeru. It impacts all of Teyvat. I know all too well how difficult it can be to protect the things you care about. So logically, morally, or however you want to cut it, helping you is the right thing to do. You don't need to tell me the specifics of your plan. Where the Gnosis is involved, the tighter the secrecy, the higher your chances of success.
Moika, my heartfelt thanks go to you and the people of Natlan.
Don't mention it. But now for the hard part. How do I actually give it to you? The Irminsul barrier is right in the way.
I have an idea.
Just as I thought.
Incredible. What did you do?
Just made a lucky guess. This seems to happen quite a lot. Things that apply to everyone else don't seem to apply to me. I figured the same might be true here.
Irminsul usually produces effects based on the records it holds. Since the Traveler is a descender, Irminsul contains no records of him, and thus has no way to impede him.
Is that right? You really are full of surprises. Catch.
Whoa! Thank you, Mawika. Thank you for trusting us with something so important.
All right. No need to get so formal. It's not like we're strangers. Besides, there's still one problem. You might be able to pass through the barrier, but I don't know about the Gnosis. Any other surprises for us, Traveler?
Let me try something. I have the Pyrognosis in my hand. It feels strangely ordinary. Not particularly heavy, and yet this tiny thing symbolizes the mighty authority of a god. I need to think hard about my memories of Pyro. My memories of journeying through Natlan. All those important experiences I've had.
The Gnosis disappeared. Traveler, are you alright?
I'm fine. The Pyrognosis disappeared into my body. Just like phlogiston.
Maybe it resonates with you because you've mastered the power of phlogiston. You might not be recorded in the ley lines, but you're still our Tumaini.
Whew.
Please allow me to express my gratitude once again, Malika.
Pleasure. Well, I've given you all the help I can. The rest is up to you.
We won't let you down.
Yeah. We aren't about to lose.
Counting down. 3, 2, 1.
Are you ready? Ready!
In the past, when people sought knowledge, they turned to the Tree of Wisdom. Today, we use it to save Sumeru and the whole world. These boughs that nurtured learning must not become tools for destroying the world.
Stop.
Please stop. End this transformation.
You would shut down Irminsul just to stop me? You fools. I have all the time in the world. Does the prospect of death amuse you?
I could ask you the same question! I'll distract Dottore. You focus on the mission. Got it!
For the hopes and dreams of the masses.
Open the secret door on this enchanting night.
May wisdom's light eradicate ignorance and darkness, and hereby fulfill our ancient vow. Commence data extraction.
Outdated ideals and stand in the way of progress. You will pay for interfering with the grandest experiment of all time.
Good timing.
Dottore, as clever as you are, you fail to understand wisdom. Wisdom takes many forms, but the path you have chosen eschews them all.
It's all yours. Do with it as you see fit.
Just as you say, this world is home to some archaic things. suppose you are a formidable opponent. You have long coveted the secrets of wisdom. So now, I will demonstrate true wisdom in action. I invoke my supreme authority as the keeper of Irminsul. Commend me or condemn me. And give your verdict now!
Blessed One of Wisdom, Mahakusalatama, are you certain that you wish to exercise your authority to destroy Irminsul? It represents both your roots and your finest accomplishments. You truly intend to abandon the very thing you have always fought for?
This is my decision. Irminsul has been corrupted beyond redemption.
Irminsul is the original tree of Tevat. It is the means by which the heavenly principles maintains fate itself. The 7 Archons should honor and revere it, for their authority was bestowed upon them by the heavenly principles.
It is precisely because I honor and revere it that I fight for the humanity it exists to protect. Wisdom is knowing how to weigh the options and make the right decision. If you truly care about the fortunes of this world, then it is me you should seek to preserve.
Planting a seed begins the chain of cause and effect. Since you have become a great tree yourself, why should the loss of another tree be anything to fear? Till we meet again, Lord of Dendro.
The first flame. The pure, cleansing fire.
Shall we?
Where were we?
I was suggesting that you needn't perform when signing a contract.
You're only sitting here because your bank demanded an evaluation of the trustee.
So you told a story about a young scholar from a merchant family in Sumeru?
I told a compelling tale, didn't I?
The post-expulsion story is far more captivating.
The human experiments or the elixir of immortality?
The part where you die.
Ah, yes. My favorite part. The 35-year-old segment thought of himself as Dottore, reserving the name Zandik for the original specimen. Of all the segments, he was the most selfish. After his expulsion, Dottore searched for a new direction. He joined the Fatui, studied Elazar in great depth, secured resources. He was rather fortunate in his career. Zandik turned to Conrian technology and successfully created his segments. But this was not immortality. Even with backup segments, his body would still age. Still, thanks to Snezhnaya, Zandik found the ideal base for his experiments. Then a perfect partnership materialized at a crucial moment. The year that both parties realized they needed more time. Fortunately, Zandik succeeded. in a miraculous turn of events, he gained the extra time he needed.
I seem to recall it differently.
All right, it's true. No matter how much elixir he took, Zondique remained human and continued to age. Then, on the morning he turned 85...
Help me up! Call for help!
Surely he would be rescued, Zondique thought. But to his surprise, no one helped him. Zondique was too selfish for that.
Don't forget, you're one of us.
Yes, and we're all waiting.
Waiting for me to die.
Pantalone arrived for a meeting and happened to witness what followed. He found it unsettling.
I never said that.
But the Zondiques were unfazed. It was a rare opportunity for self-dissection.
What does all that have to do with you depositing your data at Northland Bank?
It has made me cherish my time in this world all the more.
Fair enough. So you do have a sense of self-preservation.
What do you mean?
You're hardly normal, and you don't cherish life. You just don't want to admit defeat in the limited time you have.
Even so, don't I deserve an interesting ending?
I'm counting on it.
If nothing else, I expect my funeral will be a grand affair indeed.
In Snezhnaya, we light fires to ward off the cold. Fire, it seems, is antithetical to ideas such as cold, frozen, and unchanging.
Perhaps it has always been that way. From the beginning, fire has been used to drive away wild beasts and warm the body and mind. You could say it's a form of treatment. One that cures the human heart of mortal fear.
Mortal fear? Something you haven't been acquainted with in a long time, by the sounds of it.
Whereas you, I'm sure, must know the feeling quite well indeed. I remember when we first discussed the elixir of immortality, you claimed that extending your lifespan was about buying more time. But was that really the truth? You fear the prospect of dying a wretched end in this world, don't you?
Of course I do. I'm only human, after all. And while you may have forgotten it, you cannot deny that you too were once human, Dottore. I do not believe that there is no such fear in your heart.
Perhaps you are right. But I abandoned it long ago and devoted myself to my experiments. I have felt no fear since.
From the very beginning, I never thought you could win this game.
But still you came, contract in hand, to honor our agreement.
Because I am a reputable partner.
And as we have discussed, experiments are about more than results alone. The process is equally important. I have come here and completed my creation, and I do not regret my decision.
I'm afraid your journey ends here.
After I die, there will be no one to make the elixir of immortality, and your remaining stock will only last a few more years. How then will you prove that you didn't perish in this incident alongside everyone else?
When I feel optimistic about market environments, I never forcibly adjust them. They have their own direction, and I myself am one such environment. I have been quite particular about many things in my life, but where the manner of my death is concerned, I choose not to be.
You make yourself sound so magnanimous.
Oh, but I am, and I hope you will be too. It may have been a long time since anyone told you this, Dottore, but I recognize that you are a truly rare talent.
Ha! I can see it. The experiment in blasphemy that I've been performing all this time. It has been a long process, and I do not care about the results as much as people might imagine.
If the very goal of your experiment was to explore infinite possibilities, then there was never any reason for it to end.
Indeed. Yet now, the experiment has officially drawn to a close.
What should I call you? Zondik? Or do you prefer Dottore?
Suit yourself. Goodbye, Feofan. This time, that's what it truly is.
And don't I know it? Goodbye, Zondik.
But unfortunately, this is where it all ends for you. This experiment does not belong to you, nor do any of the results.
Experiment. It sounds like you're trying to outdo me in my own field.
Wisdom is conveying information in terms that people can clearly understand. You know exactly what I mean.
Indeed. I can see no further outcomes. Ha! You have a formidable mind, and you are braver than I thought. Setting fire to the very thing your survival depends on. Your previous threat was empty, but this time, it is real.
When necessary, wisdom can be as fierce as an inferno. Some of the flames that incinerate you come from within yourself.
Perhaps you are right. You see what lies at the bottom of the human heart, and that is your wisdom.
Here is where your journey comes to an end. All that is yet unknown belongs to those of us who will carry on living.
It seems I have unwittingly been your arch-enemy all along. But now, it's all over.
I do not deny your intelligence. But what you refer to as experiments, I would never describe in those terms. They are events that take place in the real world, and they are so much more than mere data. Goodbye. We will never meet again.
Hey, Nahida! And Hat Guy's here too!
Traveler, Paimon!
What's going on here?
Nothing much. Nahida was just expressing concern for my physical and mental well-being.
Oh, the Traveler told Paimon all about that. We've both been very worried about you. Are you feeling alright?
You make it sound like I'm on the brink of some kind of breakdown. Truth is, I'm doing much better than you might imagine. If we can just get to the bottom of Dottore's intentions, we can minimize his negative influence. That's the sort of thing I excel at.
Just listen to that newfound optimism. It seems like having you enroll in the Bahumana was a truly inspired move. I can really see the positive influence.
Observe, a classic Sumeru specialty. Chalking everything up to education and learning.
To be honest, even I can sense the change in you.
Everything Dottore said to you was a way to manipulate your mind. Fortunately, you're no longer under his sway.
Can someone as old as me really continue to grow?
If it helps, just think of yourself as a late bloomer. It's all a matter of phrasing, and it comes down to what standards you measure yourself by. For a puppet, developing at such an age is perfectly normal. But if you choose to call yourself a late bloomer, it sounds more like you consider yourself human.
However you see yourself, well done.
All right, I see what you mean.
Anyway, what's your next step?
What else can I do but complete my current courses? Everything else can wait. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. There are still things in the city I need to help out with. I'll be heading there now.
I'm so that Hat Guy is doing better than we thought. But what about you, Nahida? How are you holding up?
The pyronosis burned down the corrupted Irminsul. The flames blazed for 7 days and 7 nights before they finally subsided. All that was left were the parts underground. Now, Aru shoulders the responsibilities that once belonged to Irminsul. The situation was contained before it got out of hand, so Tevat's most vital information has largely been preserved.
Irminsul has a strong influence over you, doesn't it? How will you cope now that it's gone?
There is no need to worry. Thanks to Nicole's extraordinary talents, my connection to Irminsul has been severed and transposed onto Aru.
Angels can do things like that?
They can. Such abilities are precisely what makes them so powerful. The goddess of flowers, Nabu Malikata, once claimed that she too could perform feats beyond the reach of mere mortals. In my eyes, much of what she went on to achieve reached such transcendent levels. Her and Nicole really are both fascinating and magnificent.
So, does that mean your situation is stable now?
Correct. Just imagine that Aru has become the new Irminsul, and the essence of my existence has been bound to it. The wisdom of Sumeru has ultimately converged into a single, unified entity. Should we ascribe this all to fate, or is it merely fortune?
Whatever it is, the important thing is that you're okay, Nahida.
Dendro Archon, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Oh, thank goodness you're here. Greetings, Traveler and Paimon.
Sir Nevis, do you have something urgent to say?
Yes, there's something I need to report. We've received a message from Snezhnaya.
The Fatui Harbinger, the Rooster, sends us his sympathies, along with all the usual pleasantries. His stance is that, following the unrest and Nod Cry, Dottore was subjected to internal censure. This madness was the act of a rogue element, one who cannot be seen to represent the Zapoliarni Palace.
No less than can be expected.
Snezhnaya paid a heavy price working to stop him. They even lost one of their own harbingers. The letter goes on to say that even so, Snezhnaya cannot claim to be blameless. Apparently, they will deal with Dottore's subordinates in accordance with Snezhnayan law, holding all those involved in his crimes accountable. Additionally, they are supplying relief funds and supplies, which are already en route. They hope this will aid in Sumeru's reconstruction.
Sounds like he's got an answer for everything.
True. But as diplomatic rhetoric goes, it's highly effective. Completely watertight, both in logic and sentiment.
This disaster has had a profound impact on Sumeru. There is much that I will keep in my heart. The matter of Dottore can be seen as settled for now. We are sure to cross paths again in the future, and in that light, Snezhnaya would do well to uphold their responsibilities and keep a tight rein over their actions. With Irminsul burned, the flow of fate now carries many more possibilities. I will be watching carefully.
Perhaps we can move on to a less serious matter? Dendro Archon, will you eat with us once this matter is dealt with? Everyone wishes to celebrate together. Your presence would be most welcome.
Of course! Junior Zod, Sino, and Hypatia all told me the same thing. If there isn't enough room for everyone, we can arrange back-to-back feasts.
What a wonderful idea. That just leaves the question of what we should eat.
Not more tomatoes, surely.
More? Dendro Archon, what do you mean by more tomatoes?
Those good friends of yours are always talking about tomatoes. Sometimes when I'm walking through the city, I can even hear them arguing in the fields. Since you see them so often, you must hear about tomatoes even more than I do. Tomatoes. Tomatoes. earth has a certain magic to it. Like the autumn fur of a sumpter beast swirling in the wind, sometimes flying up my nose.
Tomatoes. What can we make with tomatoes? Wait, why tomatoes?
Take your time, there's no need to rush. The traveler, Paimon, and I still have somewhere we need to visit. You'll have plenty of time to think it over before I return.
Does this mean you're going to Natlan? Meet them there in person. It will require a long journey.
I know. But this is necessary. I must go myself. Traveler, Paimon, we'll set off as soon as you're ready. Is that...
Sure. We'll be ready whenever you are.
You'll hear no objections from Paimon. We should grab some snacks along the way, though. It'll be just like going on a long holiday.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to this so much. And it's such a lively place.
It's super cheerful and positive, too.
I can see that. There are people outside exercising at all hours. Such a healthy way of life.
You came. Welcome, welcome. You must be hungry from your journey. Would you like something to eat?
Oh, thanks, but no thanks. We've been eating the whole way here. We had a mushroom platter, Sab's meat stew, butter braised chicken, Hadasara pudding. Paimon's positively stuffed.
All right, all right. No need for all that detail. I'm starting to get hungry myself.
Maybe later then. We can wait till everyone's got an appetite, then I'll head out for a meal together.
Sounds like a plan. Let's find somewhere to sit down.
Malika?
To say thank you.
Your senses are spot on. But on top of that, we also feel guilty.
Because the pyronosis has vanished? I sensed its loss.
Despite scouring through the remnants of Irminsul, we couldn't find any sign of the pyronosis. Not even any trace of it burning to ash.
That's certainly unusual. Still, the potential fallout from Irminsul's loss is significant, to say the least. Perhaps the pyronosis's disappearance is simply a knock-on effect of the impact it's had on a certain strand of fate. There's no need to feel guilty. We were clear that this time, there was to be no returning, only giving. Pure and simple.
Thank you really is a fascinating phrase. We use it to express gratitude for the smallest of things. Yet, when faced with a kindness too immense to describe, we use exactly the same words. It's not that we lack other means of expression. It's that when we truly need to express our feelings, the simplest and purest words are always the most powerful.
You're right. In Natlan, we prefer simple expressions too. Companionship, friendship, support. They might not sound fancy, but the sentiment behind them is sincere.
That's wonderful to hear. Sincere feelings are often a vehicle for the deepest wisdom of all.
Irminsul's destruction doesn't seem to have done you much harm. I'm glad to see you're doing well.
There is still a lot of work to do, but before we begin, we felt it was important to come here and speak with you.
Partly to express our gratitude, but also because we felt that seeing you, in a sense, is like basking in warm sunlight.
That's a nice way of putting it. I like that. To tell you the truth, though, I'm not a fan of somber meetings. So, since there's nothing more to say, why don't we go bask in some actual sunlight? The weather's beautiful today.
What a great idea! Paimon's gonna lie back and soak up some rays.
In that case, I think I'll lie down for a bit too before we head to our next stop.
And where might that be?
Mondstadt. Paimon and I are gonna head back there with Kale and the gang.
Long ago, I sensed that the god remains inside Kali had come from the goddess of flowers, but I kept it a secret. Those remains weren't hurting Kali, not as she is now. They simply exist. Besides, I could sense a deep yearning within her. A yearning for an ordinary life. A yearning to hold on to the hard-won happiness she now enjoys. With someone like her, I have a responsibility to keep her secret.
She should be ready to face the truth by now.
Whenever people meet, there is always the potential to create warmth and kindness. Every child grows up, but even as adults, they are still children in the eyes of certain people.
Oh, just like how Paimon sometimes sees Nahida as a little kid.
Is that so? Well, anyone who's friends with a kid is probably a kid themselves.
Of course! And there's nothing wrong with that. When we get back, we'll actually be hanging out with another of our friends who happens to be a kid. Or more like looking after, in her case. Anyway, we'll always be there to watch out for our friends.
Dear Sucrose, when you receive this letter, I'll probably be as busy as always. But busy with wonderful things. That's because I'm no longer a trainee. I'm now an official forest ranger. Impressive, right? Sino said them official rangers sound much tougher than trainees. Though he did say it was already pretty tough to start out with. You probably heard that something big happened in Sumeru recently. Don't worry, it's all been taken care of. We're heading to Mondstadt soon, so if you're free, maybe we could meet up? Plus, it's not just me, a few of us are going. Hey, do you still remember that time we all got together? You know, when we all went to the Windbloom Festival? It'll be just like that.
Dainari, is that...
Don't you say it! Is that the great Vayuvyastra? Behold, the great Vayuvyastra, General Mahamatra.
How times have changed. I wasn't expecting you to beat me to the punchline. You've changed.
You've really upped the aggression in your battle against Sino's jokes.
Kale, how did you know what I was going to say?
For the love of...
Hey! Traveler! Paimon! You're right on time!
I hope we haven't kept you waiting.
Kale! Sucrose! It's been so long! How have you been?
I've been well. Everything's going great. What about you? Are you still busy?
Not at the moment. Oh, right! That juicer you gave us works amazing! Farzan loves it.
Seriously? That's wonderful. I don't suppose you drew up a detailed test report. Oh, what fruits did you use? How was the texture of the final product?
Sucrose, you might want to try asking your questions one at a time.
Albedo! Paimon didn't see you there!
It's been a while since all of us were together like this. How about we follow the same plan as last time?
Good idea, my friend. You never disappoint.
So, what are your identities this time?
Don't remind him.
First things first. Allow me to introduce our very own official Forest Ranger Kale. The rest of us are simply her humble travel companions.
This sounds like one of those mushy stories that gets people hooked on some corny, heartwarming premise.
Oh, is our story not heartwarming? If I recall correctly, there was even a scene like this in King of Invocations.
Besides being heartwarming, our story's also about tough, impressive-sounding job titles. At least that's what I think.